This is a lot like another movie we watched together, Breaking, the documentary about Black Marine veteran that went into the bank, held it hostage.
That had a way different ending. This is a movie about a hostage situation where a guy straps a shotgun to this guy's neck, but he's the good guy.
Is he?
Welcome back to the No Script Pod. Today we're talking about Dead Man's Wire. Let's start us off. What you think about this movie?
I thought it was a good movie, man. I was with the movie for a while. Until the end, it dropped off for me. I didn't agree with the messaging.
What was that?
I thought this at first was a David versus Goliath story. And I'm all for a David and Goliath story.
Right.
First of all, though, Tony is not David. When did Poor become taking out $100,000 loan in the 70s to develop 7 acres of land?
Yeah. Well, if you compare to, Al Pacino's character, H.L. Hall, or, he is kind of David to him.
To him.
To him.
Yeah.
But he's not David to the rest of us.
I wish I was as poor as this guy was.
Right. But I think it was phrasing it that way, but it's weird because for a movie, this is a movie about a hostage situation where a guy straps a shotgun to this guy's neck, but he's the good guy.
Is he?
I think that's what the movie's trying to say.
Okay.
They definitely don't phrase either of the other two characters, that neither Richard Hall or H.L. Hall as good guys.
Is Richard Hall really that bad of a guy, though? What does he do specifically in the story that calls for the treatment he gets?
Well, I don't think that he is a bad guy, but I do think that, they kind of hint at it in the movie with his father saying that, what if you already got Stockholm Syndrome with, Tony? But I think he is a victim of Stockholm Syndrome, but to his father. I think he's a victim. He's not a perpetrator, but he's just a victim of Stockholm Syndrome that is too far gone. Sometimes they say that for people to change their ways, it takes a dire, traumatic situation. Well, a dire, traumatic situation happens to him, and he still ends up just being a corporate piece of shit in the end. He doesn't really help Tony. He kind of is, he has this, even from the beginning, he has that corporate tone where it's I'm your friend. I might be the guy that has control over your loan, but I'm just like you. I'm just another guy. I'm your friend. He's got that corporate talk. You want any mints? Are you warm? Are you cold? And whenever he's even being hostage, he's kind of opening up to him. But even in the end, he was kind of proved that he was just being fake. He was just being corporate to try to get himself out of the hostage situation.
Well, do you think that he should be Tony's friend after what Tony did to him?
No, I don't think he should be Tony's friend, but I definitely don't think that he should be backing his father. I think that there's only one clear evil person in the movie, and it's the father.
I think Tony's pretty evil too, because I can't understand specifically what Meridian Mortgage did to him. I looked into the actual story because this movie is based on a true story.
Right.
And from what I could gather, Tony didn't pay his mortgage, and the mortgage company raised his interest rate.
But I thought it was also that his biggest gripe against them was not just the interest rates. It was that he was trying to sell the land or use the land with a separate company, but the interest or the loan company denied him the ability to work with that other company to build that.
Well, I thought from the real story that what they actually did was just tell those people not to develop on Tony's land. And they gave them other options.
Right.
They didn't do anything illegal. Did they do something bad? Yeah, but did they do anything to deserve being chained to a shotgun?
Well, I would say that the son, Richard, definitely didn't do anything. But I don't know how many creative liberties they took, but the father does kind of deserve that. I'm not gonna lie.
But he didn't get it.
That's what I'm saying. But to be fair, it was meant for him. Like in the
Yeah.
beginning of the movie, he was shocked that he wasn't in the office. So he basically just used his son as like, oh, this is my second option. It's the only person I have that's close enough to the guy I actually want to put behind a shotgun. But to be honest, I mean, I'm not, I don't really condone violence, but they paint Mr. Hall as a horrible person. Like,
Yeah.
whenever he's talking to the waiter, I mean, like, I damn near wanted to kill him with a shotgun. Just the way he was treating other people.
Yeah, this is a crazy movie, man.
Yeah.
Anytime a guy can put a guy on the world's most powerful shot caller
Right.
and the villain is still a rich person,
Yeah.
you know America is fed up.
Yeah. Pretty much.
And that's what this movie is. It's just about America being fed up. But do you agree with Tony's actions?
No, I don't think I agree with Tony's actions, but his feelings behind the actions are extremely relatable.
Yeah.
Like I've been in that situation before. Not his exact situation, but I mean, I've seen my loan stuff, and when I'm paying back my home loan, and I'm seeing how much is just going straight to interest and none of it's going towards the principal, I damn near want to go down to the office and
Real
put somebody
shit.
behind a damn shotgun, you
Bro,
know?
say you want to pull up to the headquarters with a box of donuts
Real shit.
and pull out a revolver.
Real, you know what I'm saying? Like, you have that feeling, not that I actually would do that or condone anybody who would do that, but it's super relatable how he feels. He really is somebody that he feels like the little guy being crushed by the system. He's trying to make it. He wasn't just like, he didn't come from money. He made some good decisions and bought some land and then, made some bad decisions by not paying his, principal. But,
Yeah.
he's not exactly, he's way more relatable than any of the other characters. Main characters, that is.
I don't know. I would compare Tony to a Karen of the 1970s, a really extreme Karen that pulls out shotguns. But I don't at all agree with his actions.
No.
Can I get behind why he's doing it? Yeah. But do I agree with the verdict at the end of the film? No. Tony should definitely be in prison, right? And this movie had me really thinking that, man, at first, this is an economic triumph story.
Right.
By the end, I'm like, man, this is a story about white privilege. This is injustice.
You think so?
Could a black man have ever gotten away with some shit like this, bro?
Yeah, no, I would.
Or anybody of color. I think a black man go to jail for going in a UPS store with a cardboard box.
Right.
know-
Well, I think it also had to do with the small town vibe of the thing, and that was kind of kind of goes into one of my compliments is that everybody, like, instead of people being scared when they found out what was going on, they were shocked. They were like, Tony would never do. I went to school with him. Like, it's like a perfect small town vibes where it's like everybody knows each other. And so I think that probably had to play in, I don't know where the trial was being held at, if it was the same town, but it kind of played into that where it's like everybody knows each other. It's almost a little bit of compassion behind it. I don't think it could happen today.
But if everybody knows Tony and they say Tony was a good guy, how does Tony get off on insanity? That don't really make much sense, do it?
Well, I mean, what do you mean though? Like,
That's why he gets off.
right, based on insanity.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's kind of like, that's basically saying he's not guilty without, saying just straight up not guilty.
But I mean, doesn't every crime, or not every, but a lot of crimes come from a feeling of uncontrollable anger?
Right.
Doesn't mean they should get off.
No.
Like insanity to me means you have an actual mental disability
Right.
at the time.
I mean,
and I
this
don't think Tony.
Yeah, no. I don't want to get it off into a too bad of a tangent, but I mean, like, every crime you can consider insanity. Like, you have to be insane to commit pretty much any crime.
But do you get off? Should you get off?
Yeah, no, you shouldn't get off for it. I mean, this gets into a way different topic of we should, reform the justice system, and jail should be a form of, reformation for insane people without the control to hold back on their crimes. But, that's a way different topic.
Tony need to be behind bars, man.
Yeah.
You know, and to go back to my point on white privilege, this is a lot like another movie we watched together. You reminded me of it before we went to see this, Breaking, the documentary about the black guy, the
Right.
black Marine veteran that went into the bank, held it hostage.
That
right?
had a way different ending.
Way different ending.
He got shot
He got shot, bro.
Yeah.
And he was extremely nice to the people in the bank.
the entire time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A negotiation to release the hostages was underway. He said, I'm probably the worst bank robber ever.
Right.
When has a bank robber ever been this nice?
Yeah.
And the movie ends with him being shot. Now, he's a Marine veteran with actual mental disabilities.
Right.
No weapons, right? They found out the book bag that had a bomb in it never even had a bomb in it.
Right. He was just all threats.
And he gets shot.
To be fair, they're a little bit different because you can't just shoot Tony. Because if you shoot Tony, then Richard's dead.
No, you can't shoot Tony. And I'm not saying that Tony should have died, right? But
He should have gone to jail.
he should have gone to prison.
Right. Yeah, okay, I agree. Yeah, I think that, yeah, he definitely should have gone to jail. That's
And
100%.
what do you think the reason he didn't is?
Well, I think it's the relatability thing. Like, I think deep down, everybody thinks he's the good guy.
Do you think a jury could relate? Well, not a jury, but a judge could relate to Tony?
No, not a judge. But he was found not guilty due to insanity by a jury. He wasn't found not guilty by the judge.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, I view it the same way, kind of. I don't condone his actions necessarily, but, like, I view him as a way better guy than the dad, to be honest.
You give the dad more time in prison than Tony?
I would give him more time in hell.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like, he is a worse guy. Like, he lacks all humanity. He doesn't even view his own son as a human. He doesn't view anybody as a human. He views every person as a liability.
Yeah.
That
is very true.
Like, he is willing to let his son die,
He is.
and all he had to do was apologize. Like, he didn't have to do anything else but say he was sorry.
Well, he thought it might be admitting guilt.
Yeah.
So he's like, I'm not really gonna get into it.
I'm not gonna legally get in trouble to save my own son's life.
To save my son's life.
Like, think about that. Like, I think that's worse than maybe anything Tony does. Like,
Well, I mean-
on a moral, like on my moral compass, not legally.
They were both willing to kill someone, but Tony was willing to actually pull the trigger.
Well, we don't necessarily know. Like, he could have just been bluffing, just like the guy from the other movie.
He shot the shotgun in the air when it was
Yeah,
like
but-
if he did fall or
he-
sneeze, he
for
would
sure.
have died.
Oh, for sure. But I don't think he was necessarily like if they would have charged him, he would have actually shot. Like, I don't know. We just don't know whether he was actually going to go through with it. But if he died, obviously, then, Richard would die.
Yeah, one sneeze away from JFK
Yeah.
on live television.
Yeah.
I think he would have killed him. You should listen to the real calls, bro.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, I never listened to any other. I just watched the movie.
He's way more unhinged in the actual, and that's something that I kind of have a complaint about. I don't think Bill Skarsgård does Tony justice. Like, if you listen to the actual calls, bro is cursing like every 3 seconds. He's visibly or audibly very angry.
Yeah. Well, I think he was in this one, and he does seem really unhinged. Like, I think he seems extremely unhinged in this movie.
I think he seems unhinged in just like a slow way. Like, he's mentally not there.
You think so?
But Tony, like the real Tony, he's just like angry. Like you can feel the anger.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. I can see that. Yeah.
What do you think about like reform or revolution? How should we go about it? Can the system uphold violence at all, or is there no place for violence in the system?
I'm torn. I think that actual change probably needs to have violence behind it, to be honest. Like, if I actually put it down to it, but do I condone it morally? I don't think so. I think, morally speaking, I kind of take like a Buddhist monk approach to it, where it's like I don't think it's just right. I think you should, like a Jesus approach, like you should just turn the other cheek. In reality, like you just don't have the power, type of situation. And if it doesn't work non-violently, then it just sucks.
Yeah.
But
The system itself should not uphold violence, is my belief, which is why I don't think Tony should have gotten off, right? I just relate it to, if the system says if you're fed up enough, you can hold a customer service representative at gunpoint. What's stopping it from saying if the police are fed up enough, they can shoot you dead in the streets?
to be fair, it is. I mean, that is the reason the Second Amendment's there, though.
Yeah.
Like if the people are fed up enough, you take up arms against the government. It's like written in there.
Yeah, but I'm saying there shouldn't be a system in place where you want to treat someone the way they treat you. There should be a system where inequality or poor treatment doesn't exist at all.
Right.
That's the ideal system.
Or it should just be held accountable.
Yeah. It's not about treating rich people the way they treat poor people. It's about creating a system where oppression can't even exist.
Right.
Yeah. That's my take.
Okay. What would you say is your biggest? So was that your biggest complaint? Is Bill Skarsgård's performance, or did you have like another big complaint about this movie?
Yeah, I would say that was my biggest complaint. He doesn't really capture the essence of Tony, and he looks nothing like him.
Oh, for sure.
Have you seen?
Yeah,
the
I've
real
seen.
Tony?
I've seen
He
what
looks
he looks
nothing like Tony,
No,
bro.
he
Like
looks
what?
nothing like him.
Why did they cast him?
But I do think that it actually goes. I'm going to go against the grain. My biggest compliment is the acting performances in this movie. And I'm not going to say it's necessarily accurate to the actual portrayals, because I don't know what the actual people were like. I didn't research that. But I think that they do Al Pacino does a really good job at representing corporate greed and lack of humanity. And I think that his son, Richard, does a really good job in his performance with being that corporate tone. He's been raised from birth to be a corporate guy. And so he lies through his teeth, and he also is a victim, I think, of Stockholm Syndrome. So I think he does that perfectly. And then I think Richard does a really good job at, he's almost like, at least I viewed him as almost like a clown. Like he's like the little guy. He's like the laughing stock of the community. Like he's just a guy that's been, counted out, this, that, and the third. And I think he does a really good job at portraying that just average Joe little guy thing being crushed by the system. So I think that was my biggest compliment. I don't know if they're super accurate portrayals or not, but.
Well, I'll say that Richard is a pretty accurate portrayal. It's really just Tony that's, in my opinion, not accurate to the real life events at all.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is your biggest complaint of this movie?
My biggest complaint is that, for a movie about a hostage situation with a shotgun around a guy's neck with a wire, there is zero urgency in this movie. Like a complete lack of urgency. You barely even know that, there's multiple days that pass or whatnot.
Yeah.
It's just
no tension.
No tension whatsoever. There's the police, they don't make any attempts to rescue or barge in or, shake things up. It's just like 3 days of just like some casual conversation.
Yeah.
And then that's it. Like until the very end when you're like, well, are they gonna, pull the shotgun and shoot them in front of everybody? And,
That's the thing. Like, I didn't feel that Tony would actually kill Dick Hall in this movie. But watching the actual events, I did feel that. Like he was yanking bro like a German Shepherd.
Bro.
He's fucking. And at one point they fall, and Dick has to fall with him to keep the gun from going off.
Is that in the lawyer room? Because I did that. Where like
Well,
he
it was
fell
when they
in the
were
lawyer room.
It was when they were trying to. It's either when they were trying to get to the car to leave the building, or when they were trying to get into his apartment.
Wait, no,
building.
that's the scene I was talking about. It was when they're getting to the car. Like they did almost fall, like on
yeah.
the way to the car.
Yeah.
I do remember that, but yeah, man, like
He's
there's just-
way more intense. The real life Tony makes me believe he would kill this guy.
Yeah, and so maybe that's the thing. Like, I don't believe. That's why when I was watching it, and I said earlier that I don't believe that he was going to shoot him, because that's at least how I viewed it as it was being portrayed. Is that I didn't believe that Tony was going to shoot him, and that's why I viewed him as like a good guy. He was just playing a bluff to get what he felt he deserved. It was, when I view H.L. Hall as evil, I view Richard as desperate. I think those are two completely different things where, he commits a very atrocious, illegal act, but he's just desperate. That's how I view it. I don't think he's necessarily like evil. The real guy could be maybe, but,
Yeah.
All right. So I want to preface my script or scrap with, this movie is based off a true story, so I don't believe that in taking creative liberties on a true story. I think it should be as close to as real as possible. So I don't think my change should be enacted, so I would scrap it. But if this were a fictional movie, do you think that it would have been a better story if Richard actually did kind of turn on his dad? And kind of took Tony's side of saying, we did kind of mess up.
Well, I'm not sure how genuine it would be with a shotgun to the back of your head.
Right.
I'll agree to anything if somebody got a shotgun to my head.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure how genuine it would be. And then maybe another thing is, I think it maybe erases the point the story is trying to make. Like it's calling out greed.
Right.
And Dick Hall is a greedy guy. He's going to leave the story rich.
Yeah.
Maybe it would be like he finally realizes the corruption behind greed when he sees what his dad is willing to do.
That's what I was saying. Like, I felt like they were setting it up. He was, in that, after the phone call, he even was like opening up to Tony and was talking about, you've seen what my dad was like on the phone. It wasn't, sunshine and rainbows, even though I'm grateful, or I have a really good position and I wouldn't be able to be in this rich position without my father. You've seen what he was like on the call. I feel like they were setting that up and then they threw it away. So that, I guess, makes me believe it was either a weird writing error or it was on purpose and he was really just being corporate and fake. He was opening up just so he can find a way to get out of the situation. He wasn't being truthful at all. And he doesn't really hate his dad.
Yeah. Personally, I would script that. I like it. I would never talk to my dad again if I got on the phone with him and a guy had a gun to my head and he was like, yeah, I ain't gonna apologize.
Like legally, like my legal liability means more to me than your life.
Yeah. I'd never talk to him again.
Same. That's ridiculous. But I mean, again, I don't want to change anything if it's, based on a true story. So
Okay.
I would scrap it.
My script or scrap is, let's use the days to create tension. We see these days go by, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. What if Tony gave the police or the government an ultimatum, right? You give me what I want in these 5 days or this guy's going to die.
Right. I mean, he does, but it doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, it's not, he doesn't say in a specific amount of time.
Right.
So the days going by means absolutely nothing to the story. It's
right.
just showing a passage of time.
Yes. Okay.
It can be used to create tension. If we get to Thursday and Tony says he's going to kill him on Friday and he still has him chained up, what's going to happen on, that's how you create tension.
Okay, I see what you're saying. I 100%
But there's none.
agree. It's just none. He just asked for a bunch of stuff and it doesn't matter how much time it takes to him.
Yeah.
I would script that 100%. Again, I don't know if that's actually how it transpired, but if it was a fictional story, I would 100% script that because there's no urgency.
Yeah. And I think you can, make a few changes to a real life story. I think they already did it. Like Tony is not Tony.
Yeah.
He's not the real Tony.
this might be out of order, but there's one thing else I kind of wanted to bring up is there's a lot of like random stuff that I feel like doesn't really mean much, but they just kind of added in, like the news reporter character. Like, does that go with the whole like David and Goliath story, do you think?
Yeah, because she's a small time reporter
Not only that, she's
trying
also
to make
a
something
black
of herself.
woman.
Yeah. And she uses something that could be very controversial to launch her career.
Right.
So she's really no different than the business guy or Tony. They're both going to the absolute extremes to get the things that they want. And I think that's really what the movie is calling out.
Right.
It's like everyone is willing to go to absolute extremes. It doesn't matter the amount of money. All people are bad.
Yeah.
This movie tries to paint rich people as bad, but I see Tony as a bad guy. I see the reporter as a bad guy too. Like you're willing to see a guy get his brains blown out on TV.
The head reporter guy, the guy that's like in the office, like he was sad that so nobody got their brains blown out because that means less engagement.
Yeah.
For him, less money, less engagement. What people will do just to get engagement, money, power.
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy.
Some people already got it, but some people will do immoral things to get it.
Or wish immoral things to happen upon others.
So how different are you really from the rich guy?
I don't know. I'd have to be rich, I guess, to try and see. I don't know.
All right, I'm ready.
All right, 3, 2, 1.
Gotta make sure I turn it right.
I got
It's
7.
damn sure not a 9.
No.
Make sure I turn it right. Don't want it looking like this.
Fuck. I was between a 6.5 and a 7, but
Yeah.
I think it's a pretty good movie. And the more that I researched it, the more I thought about it, the more I liked it, to be honest.
I do think it's a good movie, but I think what takes it down for me is that I really don't agree with the messaging of the film.
What takes it down for me is just the lack of urgency.
Yeah.
There's just it doesn't feel like the stakes are high at all.
Yeah, I can see that too.
Yeah.
I agree with that point.
Well, if you guys enjoyed this episode, go ahead and leave a like, rating. Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below, and we'll see y'all next week. Peace.
Peace.